Hey, Scott here with Garen Fitness, master trainer. Been training people for 25 years now. You're going to notice I'm in shorts and a hoodie. That's because I live in Ohio and it's the end of June, but it's cold out. And so now I have to wear a hoodie. This is a weird year. So what I want to talk about today is meal prep. I've talked before in one of my other videos about dieting or diet, but now I want to talk about meal prep and how important that is to your success as you're trying to change your body. So that's what we're going to discuss today. So to gain results in the gym, we have to know what we're putting into our body. You know, a lot of experts say, and I've been doing this for 25 years, so I know what I'm talking about, that diet is between 50 and 80% of your success in changing your body. Now, as an expert, I don't know the exact number, but I would say it's at least 50%. If you're working out like a madman or a madwoman, and you're only eating Twinkies, you're not going to get the same benefits that if you're eating a good, proper diet with, you know, the proper amount of protein, carbohydrates, and fats. You're just not. So we need to know what we're putting into our body. And the best way to do that is buy yourself a scale. This scale is a cheap scale. Cost me probably like $5 to $10. I don't remember exactly. It's been a while. But this will allow you to weigh your foods and know exactly what you're putting in your body. That way you can go Google different formulas of what we need to figure out for your body type. And I've discussed the different body types in my other diet video. But this is going to give you the foundation so you know what you're putting into your body. Now there's a lot of different programs on your phone you can use. I'm old school. I'm 54 years old. I've been doing this a long time. So this is what I use. It's got pretty much every food in here, including name brands and different stuff. And so I have just a memo book, and I can record, you know, like if I eat six ounces of ground beef, 90%, it'll be in here. And I know how many grams of protein, fat, and all that stuff I'm getting in here. This is what I use. But I'm just not good with computers. So if you're a techno geek and you love computers, or you're just smarter than me, then use the computers. And a lot of them have where you can just take your phone, click, and it'll read the nutrients from the code on the back. But the important thing is we know what we're putting in our body. And so record this in however you want to do. Could be your phone, could be your computer, could be a notepad, I don't care. But you need to start figuring that out to make success. And as you're growing, let's say our goal is to put on muscle. As we're adding on muscle, let's say in several months we put on 10 pounds of muscle, which would be pretty generous, but or whatever the number is, you're going to have to adapt your diet program, because as I'm putting on more muscle, I'm going to need more protein and change the macros there. So be aware of that. So that's kind of a big point right here, is to know what we're putting into our body. So let's get into what meal prep actually means. It's meal preparation. And this is where it is important. If you are, let's just say this. I'm a retired cop. I was on the road, I was a detective. And so in my duty bag, I always carried protein shakes, protein bars, whatever. Because some days, as a cop, I always said a cop job is 90% boredom, 10% adrenaline. A lot of times you never had a call. So I could go into the station and make meals if I wanted to. We had a full kitchen. And then some days you were not going to get a meal. Like you never had a lunch break. You were running call to call, and that's just the nature of the beast. Most jobs aren't quite like that. You actually have a meal time. But I like to eat 5 or 6 I call them feedings, not meals. Like meals seem like they're big, spread out things with everything involved in it. But a feeding could be a protein shake and an apple and maybe some peanut butter or some celery or whatever. But we want to try to get those 5 smaller feedings in. And that's where meal prep is really important. So if you're, let's say your day off is Sunday. If you want to get into this habit, your day off is Sunday, so cook like 6 or 7 chicken breasts up. I recommend putting, the chicken breasts in a baking pan. I use olive oil in the bottom. Season them however you want, salt and pepper. You can put different stuff on them, but I bake it for 28 minutes, give or take. It's going to depend on how thick the chicken is, but that's a good thumbnail. That's going to give you the protein source that you're going to need through the week, for your meals. And white rice is a great source of carbohydrates. So I usually, cook a big pan of white rice. Just follow the directions. I usually put butter on it and then put some salt and pepper on it, and that's part of my, my meal, my carbs. Fruits and veggies, you can add whatever you want in there to make it a balanced diet. Oh, there's Chloe. Chloe just came to visit me. But that's the key. So you need to be prepared. You don't want to ever not eat. When I was at my biggest and my most muscular, those days are gone because I had to diet down because I have a bad heart valve. But I was eating about 5,000 calories a day, and the strongmen right now are eating like 10 to 12,000. I don't know how they did it because 5,000 was a lot of work. Like every 2 to 2.5 hours, I was having a feeding. Even if I wasn't hungry, I was having that feeding. But that's how you change your body. You have to be prepared for that. And so meal prep is the key. If you have to make a meal if you have to cook over and over and over, you're never going to accomplish it. So if you can do it, like I said, if Sunday's your day off, it could be whatever day, I don't care. But make a bunch of food, put it in Tupperware, and you have an instant meal. So you don't end up relying on running to McDonald's or Burger King or whatever, which are unhealthy meals. You have a good solid balance of food that's going to get you to your destination. Now I know this might sound like a lot of work, having to weigh your food, and it's important when you are starting that fitness journey. It's very important. It's tedious, it is a lot of work, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I'll tell you, I've got this, I hardly ever use it anymore, unless it's for a food that maybe I don't eat that much. But like hamburgers, I'm to the point now where I've been cooking long enough that I can make a patty of beef, and I know that this is a 6-inch patty just from the feel, from how I do it, or a 6 ounce patty. I'm sorry, and so I've actually done it so much. I've tested myself with the scale over and over, and I'll be within a 1/4 ounce one way or the other. It might be 5 3/4 ounces, it might be 6 1/4, but it's close enough now that I don't have to weigh. I can go, well, I've had this much protein because I had a 6-inch or 6-ounce burger, and I weighed it, and so it does get easier. The more you do this, it's practice makes perfect. And but to start out, please just go buy a $5 scale. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. This is going to be the key to part of your success. You still have to work out hard in the gym. You still have to do your cardio, weights, all that stuff. But diet is a big part of this, and these tips are going to help you out. And like I said, so if you want to be simple, go buy this book or one similar. Book of Food Counts. I think I've probably had this 20 years now. But it's kind of amazing because the numbers are, the big brands are still listed in here. So that's my key for today. Count your calories, count your carbs, fats, and proteins. That's going to help you get the gains, whether losing fat, gaining muscle, that you want. Thanks for checking out GarenFitnessConsulting.com.